Here's a question that trips up even native English speakers, even people who have been speaking English their entire lives. Should you say, I'm going to lay down for a bit, or I'm going to lie down for a bit? Do you actually know the answer? Because if you're not sure, you are in very good company. And by the end of this episode, you will know. Permanently. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to the Porch English, the podcast that takes the tricky, confusing corners of English grammar and makes them clear, logical, and easy to remember. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ryan. And today's topic? Oh, this one is a genuine troublemaker. Lie and lay. Two short words, but they cause enormous confusion for learners and native speakers alike.
Which is actually quite reassuring when you're learning English, right? If native speakers struggle with this too, you're not behind. You're just dealing with a genuinely tricky part of the language.
And the reason it's tricky is very specific. And once you understand exactly why, it all becomes much clearer. So today we are walking through lie and lay completely. What they mean, how they change in different tenses, where people go wrong, and how to get it right every time.
Before we jump in, please subscribe or follow the Porch English wherever you listen. A new episode every single day, completely free. All right, Ryan, let's start with what these words actually mean.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is separate these two words completely in our minds. They look similar, they sound similar, but they mean different things.
Let's start with lay. The word lay means to put something down carefully, to place an object somewhere, usually gently. The key point, there is always an object. You always lay something. You lay your keys on the counter. You lay a book on the table. You lay a blanket across the sofa. Something is always being placed.
So lay is about placing an object somewhere deliberately.
Exactly. And the word lie, this one means to recline, to be in a flat, horizontal position, to rest your body. When you lie down on the sofa, when you lie in bed, you are the one reclining, and there is no object. You don't lie anything, you just lie.
So the simplest split is lay, I put something down, there is an object. Lie, I recline. My body is horizontal, no object.
That is the foundation. Hold on to that because everything else builds on it.
Lay needs something. Lie needs nobody and nothing else. Just you, resting.
Now, here is where people get confused. Each of these verbs changes form depending on the tense, and the forms of one look startlingly similar to the forms of the other. Let's take lay first.
Lay in the present tense is simply lay. Please lay the spoon beside the bowl. Every morning she lays her gym clothes out the night before. The base form is straightforward.
The past tense of lay is laid. Yesterday, I laid my phone on the windowsill and forgot about it. He laid the report on his manager's desk before she arrived. Laid. L-A-I-D.
And the past participle of lay is also laid. Same form. No change between past and past participle. So, she has laid the documents out in order. The table had been laid before the guests arrived.
And the present participle, the ing form, is laying. L-A-Y-I-N-G. He was laying the tiles carefully when the phone rang. She is laying the baby down for a nap.
So lay goes lay, laid, laid, laying. Clean and consistent.
Now, lie. And this is the part that confuses everyone. Because the past tense of lie is lay.
Wait, lay? The past tense of lie is lay?
Yes, and that is exactly why this is such a mess. The present form of the first verb and the past form of the second verb are spelled and pronounced identically, but they are completely separate words with completely separate histories. They just happen to look the same.
So if I say, she lay in bed all morning, that lay is actually the past tense of lie?
Exactly. She was reclining. Past tense. Lie to lay. Nothing is being placed. She is horizontal in bed. That is lie in the past.
And how do I know which lay someone means when I see it in a sentence?
Context. Always context. If there is an object, something being placed, it's lay, the verb to lay. If there is no object and someone is reclining, it's the past tense of lie. The sentence tells you which one it is.
So the present tense of lie is simply lie. I lie on the grass and watch the clouds. After lunch, I like to lie down for 20 minutes.
The past tense of lie is lay. He lay on the sofa for an hour before dinner. She lay awake all night worrying about the meeting.
The past participle of lie is lain. L-A-I-N. Now this form is less common in everyday speech, but it does come up, especially in writing. He had lain there for hours before anyone found him. The letters had lain unopened on the desk for weeks.
And the present participle, the ing form, is lying. L-Y-I-N-G. No A in the middle, unlike laying. She was lying on the beach when it started to rain. Stop lying on the floor. Come and sit properly.
So lie goes lie, lay, lain, lying. And the one to watch is that past tense, lay, which looks exactly like the present tense of the other verb. Okay, can we just sit with the confusing part for a moment? Because I want to make sure I really understand it.
Of course. Let's put the two problem sentences side by side.
Sentence 1. Please lay the book on the table. That's lay, present tense, meaning to place an object. The book is the object.
Right. Now sentence 2. She lay in bed all morning. That's also lay, but it's the past tense of lie. She was reclining. No object.
Same word, completely different meanings. And the only way to tell them apart is to ask, is something being placed or is someone reclining?
Exactly. You look for the object. If there's an object, a book, a tray, a coat, a blanket, then lay is the present tense of the verb to lay. If there's no object and someone's body is horizontal, that lay is the past tense of lie.
Let me try a few. Tell me which lay each one is. She lay on the sofa and fell asleep instantly.
No object. She's reclining. That's past tense of lie.
He lay the envelope on the reception desk.
Object, the envelope. He placed it there. That's the verb lay in the past. Laid. Wait, actually, he lay the envelope would be wrong. The correct past tense of lay is laid. So, he laid the envelope on the reception desk.
Ah, so he lay the envelope would actually be a mistake?
Yes, lay, when it means to place an object, goes to laid in the past. So if someone uses lay with an object in what seems like past tense, that's actually the error we're fixing today.
Got it. So the mistake is using lay when you mean laid, past tense of to lay an object.
Exactly. And the other very common mistake is saying, I'm going to lay down, when no object is involved. You're reclining, no object. So it should be, I'm going to lie down. Lie, not lay.
That's probably the single most common mistake in everyday English.
It really is. Even native speakers say it constantly. I'm going to lay down. You hear it all the time. It's so widespread that language is slowly shifting. But in formal or careful English, lie down is the correct form. There's actually a grammar rule that explains all of this very neatly. And once you know it, you have a built-in test you can use forever.
Tell me.
Lay is a transitive verb. That means it always needs an object. Something is always being laid. If you say lay and there's no object following, something is wrong.
And lie?
Lie is intransitive. It never takes an object. You don't lie anything, you just lie. So if you find yourself about to say a sentence with lie and then an object, stop. Switch to lay.
So the test is, am I about to mention something being placed? Then lay. Object required. Am I just describing a reclining body with no object? Then lie.
Perfect. And the ing forms give you an extra clue. Laying with an A comes from lay, so it always has an object. She was laying the picnic blanket out on the grass. Object, the blanket. Lying without an A comes from lie, no object. He was lying on his back looking at the ceiling.
The spelling difference between laying and lying is actually a useful signal.
It is. Laying has an A because lay has an A. Lying has no A, and lie has no A.
Let's do some practice sentences. I'll say the sentence with a blank, and you tell me the answer. Then we'll explain why.
Let's go.
Sentence 1. Every Sunday morning, I love to blank in bed until 10.
Lie. No object. You are reclining. Your body is horizontal. I love to lie in bed until 10.
Sentence 2. Could you blank the tablecloth flat before the guests arrive?
Lay. There is an object, the tablecloth. Something is being placed. Could you lay the tablecloth flat?
Sentence 3. He blank on the sofa all afternoon and didn't move once.
Lay. But this is the past tense of lie. He was reclining. No object. So, he lay on the sofa all afternoon. Lay here is past tense of lie.
Sentence 4. She has already blanked the documents out on the conference table.
Laid. Past participle of lay. To place. Object, the documents. She has laid the documents out.
Sentence 5. The dog was blank in front of the fire when we got home.
Lying. From lie. No object. The dog was reclining. The dog was lying in front of the fire.
And sentence 6. He was carefully blank the new floor tiles one by one.
Laying. From lay. Object, the floor tiles. Something is being placed. He was laying the floor tiles.
6 for 6. That feels really clear now.
Let's finish with a short, real-life conversation where both lie and lay come up naturally.
Perfect. Let's say it's a Sunday afternoon. I'll start. Amanda, have you seen my reading glasses?
I think you laid them on the kitchen counter this morning, next to the fruit bowl.
Oh, yes. I remember now. I laid them there when I was making coffee. Found them. Thanks. Are you busy?
Not really. I was just about to lie down for a bit. I've had a really long week and I'm exhausted.
Fair enough. The cat's already lying in your spot on the sofa, by the way.
Of course she is. She lays claim to that spot every single afternoon.
She really does. I was going to lay out some food for her, but I wasn't sure what time you'd fed her.
I laid her food out about an hour ago. She's fine. Right. I'm going to lie down. Don't let me sleep more than an hour.
I'll set a timer. Enjoy your rest.
And let's highlight the verbs there. You laid them on the counter. Past tense of lay. Object, glasses. I was about to lie down. No object, reclining. Lie. The cat's lying in your spot. Lying. No object, reclining. I was going to lay out some food. Lay. Object, food. Being placed. I laid her food out an hour ago. Laid. Object, food. Past tense of lay. Every single one used correctly, naturally, in real conversation. Let's lock everything in with a clear summary.
Lay means to put something down. It is transitive. It always has an object. Forms: lay, to laid, to laid, to laying. Lay the book down. She laid the tray on the table. He has laid the groundwork carefully.
Lie means to recline, to rest your body in a horizontal position. It is intransitive, never has an object. Forms: lie, to lay, to lying, to lying. I lie down after lunch. She lay on the grass. He had lain there for hours.
The single biggest thing to remember: the past tense of lie is lay. That is the one that causes almost all the confusion. She lay in bed. She was reclining. Nothing was placed. Past tense of lie.
And your challenge for today: write 2 sentences, one using lay in any form with an object, one using lie in any form with no object. They can be about your real day. The more personal, the better it sticks.
For example, I laid my phone on charge before bed. And I like to lie on the sofa and listen to podcasts on Sunday mornings.
Say them out loud. Write them down. Practice is the only thing that makes this truly automatic.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Lie and lay. Genuinely one of the trickiest pairs in English. And you've just tackled it head on.
If this episode helped you, please follow or subscribe to the Porch English, a new episode every single day. Share this with one friend who always says, "I'm going to lay down," because now you can gently explain why it's lie down.
From the Porch English, keep the light on. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.